Hello, everyone, on this beautiful evening. So, I'm sure many of you who have been following me and paying attention to any of my posts or stories have seen that I recently launched this product called Vibe. And I am so freaking excited to share this with everyone. And today I wanted to just go over everything about the product and what it is because I've been receiving so many questions about what's in it, what does it do, what are the benefits, and all the things, right? So I just wanted to share it with you guys today because it's so freaking exciting. This has been something that I've wanted to do for quite a long time. For those of you who've been following me for a while, know that I have a background in, being a coach for over 8 years now, as well as working with, supplements and nutrition and different things like that. So this is up my alley, guys. This is the things that I absolutely love. Everything that has to do with health, lifestyle, mindset. It is my obsession, guys. I study this stuff, I live this stuff. And so, of course, I wanted to create something that I know is going to benefit people, specifically when it comes to the foundation of their health, right? Because we have so many things out there, so much content, so much information, so many products, right? Of like, this is the best for you. This is what you should take for this problem. This is what you should take to solve this problem. But here's the thing that most people don't talk about. They don't talk about how everything really does stem pretty much to one thing, and that is your gut. The gut is our second brain. And if we don't have a healthy gut, specifically a healthy gut microbiome, everything else is going to have a problem. Like the downstream effects of this is insane. So today I wanted to just share with you guys just some of the common things that I would hear as a trainer, as a coach, and from different people throughout my career. One is that they have problems when it comes to losing weight, right? This is something that is, of course, common to hear as a trainer, right? Like, Holly, I want to lose weight. I want to lose fat. I've been trying for so long and I've been struggling and it's so hard. I can't lose the last 5 pounds. Or maybe they're needing to lose 50 pounds and they're just really having such a hard time. And one of the things that I learned was that even though people can have a healthy lifestyle, of course, that is the non negotiable, right? Making sure that you already are eating good, right? Your nutrition is good. Your sleep is good. You're hydrating, you're doing all these things. But if someone is already doing all of these things and they're still struggling, they still can't lose weight, we know, I know as a coach, that that means that there's an underlying health issue. If your body does not lose weight when you add exercise and you are eating healthy, there is an underlying health issue. So, of course, with this in mind, I was like, I really want to help people focus on the main problem, and that is getting healthy. Because so many people in this modern society are dealing with problems with their digestion, problems with their gut, whether this is leaky gut, whether this is SIBO, which is an overgrowth of basically bad bacteria. We have candida. We have people dealing with constipation and bloating and even just things that are even more severe than this, right? But all of these things that, of course, are going on inside of our gut, they cause so many other symptoms. They cause issues with our skin. They cause issues even with the liver and the kidneys and the adrenal glands. And then they cause hormonal issues. And then we have problems with all of our other things, even like the thyroid, right? All of these things, we have a downstream effect that happens when we don't take care of the most important thing, which is our gut health, right? And I wish I would have known this earlier because I personally have been dealing with gut issues since I can remember. I remember probably the first time that comes to mind is when I was 5 years old. At 5 years old, I was having severe stomach pains. I was dealing with issues when it came to going to the bathroom. I would be constipated to the point of my mom having to give me, juices and prunes and all the things because I could not go to the bathroom. And this was insane to happen at such a young age. And I remember having burning stomach pains and terrible, terrible problems with my stomach that I didn't even realize at the time was also causing mood problems. I had so many struggles in school trying to learn because of early in my life, my parents had me homeschooled and I could not sit down to save my life. I could not focus. I was everywhere. And of course, what did they say? Oh, this girl probably has ADHD. She probably has all of these things that they can just diagnose you with, right? But what they didn't know was that I was dealing with serious gut issues. And I also had a lot of problems with my skin, severe dry skin, guys. I would literally have super, super dry hands to the point where they would bleed. I would have bloody, dry hands, and it was very, very painful. All of my family know this very well because I used to have to wear sometimes gloves to bed at night. I would have to put on, that stuff, that Vaseline or bag balm. I had to put that on at night with gloves because my hands would be so painful during the day because I had such dry skin. And I wish at this time, when I was younger and stuff like that, because I went to doctors. I went to different doctors and they all told me the same thing, like, oh, she's healthy, maybe she should just eat more yogurt, maybe, this or that, right? But really never got to the root of the problem. So what I learned, especially as I got older and I went through puberty and my problems got worse, right? I started to have even more mood issues. I started dealing with serious like depression, which seemed like it came out of nowhere. And I had really bad anxiety and I dealt with even more skin problems like discoloration in my skin, and it just kept going on from there. I gained a lot of weight as soon as I got out of school and going through puberty. I think I gained like 30 pounds within the span of a couple months. It was a really, really tough time for me when I was going through puberty because there were so many changes happening. And even after going to the doctor and hoping that I would get help from, these specialists, supposedly, they weren't able to help me. And most of them didn't even tell me to focus on my nutrition and to focus on getting my gut to a better place. So with all of this, I'm really grateful in hindsight. I'm so happy that those things happened because what it did is it led me on this journey to, one, healing myself and feeling better because I was so miserable. I was unhealthy. I was dealing with problems in my house, like with all, how it is being a teenager, problems with my parents and all these things, right? And so I had to, for my own survival, figure out how am I going to feel better? Because I knew that I did not want to live like that. I knew that I did not want to live with this situation. And so this, of course, led me into, my love for fitness, my love for nutrition and feeling better and all these things. And that, of course, led me to learning more about the gut, learning about nutrition, learning about lifestyle, the importance of movement, the importance of nutrition and eating properly, the importance of basically making sure that we are sleeping enough and all these things that are the pillars, of course, to being a healthy person, right? And I wanted to, of course, talk about these things first before I even bring in the product, because I wanted to just give you guys a little bit of a background, like where do I come from, especially for those people maybe who haven't seen, my journey or understand where I come from and things like that, right? So one of the main things, like I said, when I started today, was creating a product that was focused around gut health. So that is exactly what this is. But it's not just gut health. It is something that is going to help people also with natural fat loss. It is also something that helps you with natural energy. It is also something that is going to, by helping you with your gut, it's going to have an incredible benefit on all the other downstream effects, like I talked about, which is your hormones, improving your skin, helping with your mood, helping with all of these other things. Why? Because when we heal the root of the problem, everything else starts to heal itself. So that is why I really wanted to stress the importance of the foundation, right? Because we can go to the symptom. We can say, oh, I'm having problems with my skin. I'm going to start taking, more collagen, or I'm just going to start taking a pill for this or that, right? But that's not solving your problem. And if you don't get to the root of the issue, then you're going to keep manifesting more symptoms. You're going to keep having more and more problems. I know this because I dealt with it firsthand. And until I really fixed those things, I didn't see a difference. I would see a difference in one thing here, and then another problem would pop up over here. So basically, what I've learned is that, of course, the foundation of lifestyle is important. Why do I preach this? Why do you guys see me constantly on my Instagram posting things, and yes, I travel, I do fun things and stuff like that, but I still always prioritize hydration. I'm always prioritizing making sure that I'm getting my protein in every day and eating as healthy as I can, limiting my sugar intake, and prioritizing my sleep. I'm a stickler when it comes to my sleep, making sure that I'm sleeping at least 7, even to 9 hours a night. And on top of that, making sure that I get movement, whether this is getting more steps in my day or exercise, right? Because these are the foundations of health. But now let's talk about what do we do when we have those things in place, right? And we're still maybe struggling or we need some help. That is where supplementation comes into play. That is where we get to take products or things that actually boost and give us that extra step that maybe we needed, right? Because we live in a modern society. A lot of the soils are depleted. We're not getting the vitamins, the minerals, the nutrients that we used to from our food. And so we do need to supplement. We do need to take things that are going to get us to that healthy, optimal health place by taking supplements, right? So let me share with you guys just some of the amazing ingredients that are in here. So one of the main ingredients in here is collagen. And the reason why I wanted to add collagen is because collagen is a protein, right? And of course, protein is important, right? I stress this so much in all my content, in all my trainings and everything, because protein is essential. It is essential for repairing muscle, tissue, ligaments, all the things. But what some people don't know about collagen is that it also helps with the absorption and protein synthesis, because when we consume collagen, there's now scientific studies that are proving that when you consume collagen along with your other protein sources, you boost your protein synthesis. So this is very, very helpful for people such as myself or whoever else is out there that wants to improve their health. You want to boost your protein synthesis, which is going to help with retaining muscle tissue, helps with losing weight and all the things, right? So that was one of the really important ingredients in this product. Along with that, we have konjac root extract and probiotics, which basically this is a pre and a probiotic. Konjac root is a soluble fiber that is great for helping with blood sugar levels. This is great for helping digestion. This is also amazing for serving as a prebiotic for the healthy bacteria. Because in a modern society, like I said, most people are eating the standard American diet or they are consuming foods that don't have fiber. And what happens is when we're not consuming enough healthy food to feed the good bacteria starts to die off and the bad bacteria builds up. And that's where we start to manifest these problems. Like I was saying earlier, we start to have issues with overgrowth of bad bacteria. We start to have stomach pains. And then that stomach pain leads to constipation and bloating and all these things. So we need to have our gut bacteria in check. And we do that by consuming prebiotics, healthy fiber, and of course, our probiotics, okay? So that was one of the things, of course, that I had to add to the product, right? And on top of that, I want to discuss guarana extract because I wanted to put something in here to give people natural energy. It seems like 99% of the population is energy deficient or feel energy like drained throughout the day, right? And so I wanted to bring to people's awareness, one, the importance of where the caffeine is coming from, because caffeine source matters because it does digest differently. It does absorb into the body differently. It has different effects also on different individuals. I myself am very sensitive to caffeine and I don't drink coffee. I mean, I may drink one coffee every other month, right? But a very small amount because I understand that for myself, I'm very sensitive to it and it makes me overstimulated very easily. So I really just don't drink caffeine. And on top of that, depending on how much caffeine you're consuming, definitely affects also your health. Specifically, I want to speak to the ladies because a lot of women don't understand how their hormones are very, very connected to their nervous system and the stress levels of their body. And when we are overstimulated as women, when we are in, of course, a lot of stress via overworking ourselves, or we're in relationships, we deal with stress in our relationships and our friendships and our family. And then on top of that, we have our chemical stress. We have stress coming from our environment constantly, and you can't avoid it. We have all the toxins from the air, we have toxins from the water, we have all these things that we're putting on our skin, lotion, makeup, hair care products, all the things. All of these things that we can't see are also putting insane amounts of stress on our bodies. And this affects our hormones, guys, so much more than you think. And of course, affects our mood. It affects our energy levels. So that is why I wanted to bring that to people's attention when it comes to caffeine, because that's just another way that people put extra stress on themselves without even knowing it, because we are so energy depleted that our first thought is, I need something to give me fast energy. So let me overconsume caffeine. Let me get an energy drink. Let me go grab another coffee. But we don't understand that this is going to impact our health in a negative way in the long term. This is funny because I have another story about this as well. When I was about 19 years old, this was the time when pre-workouts were all the craze, and everybody who was into the gym was talking about like the latest and greatest pre-workout. And for those of you who don't know what a pre-workout is, it's basically something that people consume before their exercise that contains anywhere from 200 to 400 milligrams of caffeine. It's loaded with stimulants, and a lot of the time with very unnatural sweeteners, flavors, and all the things. So it really is very unhealthy for the body. But at the time, I had no idea. I just wanted, to get that energy boost, right? And over a period of time, consuming caffeine on a regular basis and taking those pre-workouts, I didn't know at the time, I started to notice that my energy over a certain period of time, right? Like taking it consistently, I would feel more and more and more depleted, more and more energetically depleted. And I didn't even know until years down the road, after studying nutrition and studying, being around other, people who are into holistic medicine and health, that I started to learn about the impact of caffeine on our nervous system and on our adrenal glands. So when we're overstimulated and when we're overstressed and we add caffeine on top of that, our adrenal glands take such a giant load, and eventually we run into adrenal overstimulation, adrenal fatigue. And this can cause so many problems. Like for myself, I got to the point where caffeine didn't even work. I was so tired. I would have to take naps during the day, and sometimes I wasn't even able to exercise because of how tired I was. So I know the effects of what happens when you overconsume caffeine for too long. And so with that in mind, I wanted to find the perfect happy medium, because I also understand most people are not going to be able to just cold turkey get off of caffeine. Most people will probably cringe and freak out at me even saying that, right? Because they're like, oh my God, this girl thinks I'm going to be able to go to work and get up in the morning and do all the things that I do without taking any caffeine. She's crazy. I understand. I get it. So that is why I wanted to add a healthy caffeine source, because I want people to start being intentional, thinking about, what am I consuming? Is this actually benefiting me? Is this good for my body? Is this going to have a healthy impact on me? Or am I taking a little dip right now, like, oh yeah, I'm going to take some extra caffeine, but it's actually going to negatively impact me down the road? So let's just be intentional about those things. And with the guarana extract, I've only added a small amount of caffeine in here, small enough that you feel the energy boost, but you're not going to impact your hormones in a negative way. Okay? You're still going to get natural energy. In fact, we have a lot of people that are obsessed with coffee that have completely got off of coffee, away from caffeine. I'm talking people that drink 3 to 4 cups a day. It's a lot of coffee, to drinking Vibe, and they feel more energized than when they were drinking their coffee, for the same reason that I described earlier. Overstimulation causes us to be stressed out, and it's going to actually make you more tired. So we need healthier alternatives out there. And that is why I wanted to create something that has all of these things. And what I've done is I've paired guarana extract, which is the healthy caffeine source, with L-theanine. And for those who don't know what L-theanine is, it's basically an amino acid that helps stabilize our nervous system. This is going to help taper down that stress. This helps our bodies manage stress better. And when you pair guarana with L-theanine, you get a very, very stable energy without overstimulation, and you're going to feel incredible. And I know because, like I said, I drink this and I am very sensitive to caffeine and I feel amazing, guys. No overstimulation, no crash. It is amazing. And of course, these two other ingredients paired together are our powerhouse for boosting metabolism and helping people lose fat. CLA paired with calorie burn. And I know some people are probably like, what the heck is that? CLA is very popular in the bodybuilding space for helping people lose fat. So what it does is it's called, what is the word? Oh my gosh. Something, I'm trying to think of the first word now. Something linoleic acid. It's a long kind of a hard word to pronounce. But basically what it does is it takes the body into a fat burning zone. So it helps the body convert to burning more fat. So like I said, a lot of bodybuilders take this because what it does is when they're doing their cardio and when they're doing their cuts to get ready for a show, this will help their body strip off fat and stay away from muscle, because that's the goal, right? We're not trying to lose weight. We are trying to lose fat. We want to maintain our muscle mass because that is what keeps us youthful and young. So we want to keep that around, right? We paired that with calorie burn. And a lot of people are like, what the heck is this? No, it is not a crazy stimulant fat burner. It burns fat, but it is not like what you'd think it is, okay? It is a patented formula that is designed to target brown adipose tissue. Brown adipose tissue is different than white fat because brown fat is very metabolically active, meaning it burns a lot more calories and therefore does boost your metabolism, making it easier for your body to burn fat, specifically fat too. Because, once again, our goal here is to lose fat and not to just lose weight. And the cool thing about calorie burn, I need to look up the exact word. It is a very long word to describe it. It's basically an herb, though. It is 100% natural. And what it does, like I said, is it targets the brown adipose tissue to make the body burn or rev up your metabolism, making you burn more during the day. The cool thing about this is it targets your visceral fat. For those of you who don't know this, visceral fat is the fat that surrounds our organs. This is the fat that causes heart disease, diabetes, and pretty much all of the other diseases that people have due to fat or due to being overweight in that region. So, of course, this is incredible because we want to do our best to decrease our visceral fat, do our best to target fat loss, specifically when we are trying to lose weight, to maintain our body weight, to keep a very healthy, lean physique. We want to make sure our body is targeting our fat tissue and not our muscle tissue. And we do that by eating protein and by, of course, consuming this combination of the CLA and the calorie burn. So this, like I said, is just a powerhouse product. It's a premium product. It is something that is going to save people a lot of money because you're going to be able to cut out a lot of other things that you're taking. If you're taking fat burners and you're taking all these other crazy things and you're already buying probiotics and prebiotics and fiber supplements and collagen, you're going to save a ton of money because it's all in one product. And that was my goal. I was like, how can I create something that has everything that people are going to need when it comes to improving their metabolism, when it comes to improving their hair, their skin, their nails, their gut health, all of these things, the foundation of health, and package it in a delicious product. Because I haven't even yet talked about the fact that this tastes so freaking good. Because you can have a product that's so healthy for people, but if it tastes terrible, the truth is no one's going to want to drink it. No one's going to be consistent with taking it because it tastes terrible, right? So it is a delicious peach flavor. Over 600 people have tried it at this point, and we have not had one complaint. Everyone is in love with the flavor. It is so good. We are so lucky. I am so lucky to have the connections that I do in my life. And thank you, JC, who is partial owner of a manufacturer, and just so happens that I have amazing connections in my life that I'm able to work with amazing formulators and people that are so good at making delicious things and making, of course, being able to create something that's so healthy and so beneficial that actually makes a difference in people's lives, something that people can feel the difference in their health. They can see it and feel it, and it tastes good, right? So that's pretty much the spiel that I wanted to talk about. There's so much more when it comes to Vibe. The mission of Vibe is so much more than just a product. It is about, for me, it was about sharing the fundamental pillars of life, which is, for me, health. If you don't have your health, you can't enjoy your life, right? And of course, the financial freedom aspect, financial independence. If people don't have resources, if you don't have money to be able to live the life that you want, you're not going to live your most joyful experience here. And we came here to enjoy our lives, which means we need to have the money to do the things that we want to do, the money to have the lifestyle that we want and we deserve. And on top of that is the relationships, the community aspect. I've learned firsthand how it is to have people who don't support you, people who don't want to actually see you succeed, people who actually thrive on robbing you of your energy. But you and I'm sure we both know at this point that we need to have people in our lives who support us. We need to have people in our lives who hold us accountable, because our ability to be successful is so dependent upon our circle, the people we surround ourselves with, the type of energy that we're around, right? Everything affects our health. It affects our relationships, of course. And so making sure that our atmosphere, our environment is conducive to helping us achieve the life that we want and deserve. And that is so important. And that is why I've created a Facebook group, and that we have an incredible team that we've put together to help support this vision and to make this become a reality. We have a Facebook group right now that is a private Facebook group. I'll just post the link when I'm done with this live in the comments. And it is incredible. Me and my team, we are all doing trainings on there about finance, about sales, marketing, health, fitness, like you name it. There's a lot of valuable content in this group. And on top of that, it's a space where you can meet incredible people, other people who also want to up level in the areas of health and finance and meeting cool people, which is super important nowadays, because sometimes people forget that connecting on social media is not the same as connecting with people in person. We do need to have healthy connections. Of course, if your only option is virtual, then, so be it. But do your best to surround yourself with good people in person, because regardless of what you believe, we are humans and we absorb energy. By osmosis, we become more like the people that we surround ourselves with. That is why that common saying, you become like the 5 people that you hang out with most, that is quite literally a fact. You will start making the amount of money that those people make, within a certain range, of course, but you will start becoming like those people, speaking, walking, acting like them, because it rubs off on you. It totally does. And the same thing with people who have negative habits, right? They start to push you in maybe not so healthy directions. And so we are the ones in control of that, right? We are the ones that determine who we surround ourselves with, what we're consuming, what are we putting inside of our bodies, are we moving on a daily basis, who are the people that we're surrounding ourselves with, and what are the decisions that we're making every single day that are moving us toward or away from our goals for health, our goals for finance, and of course our goals for connection, for relationships. Because to me, we need those 3. Those are the 3 pillars. We need to have our health, our finances, and our community and our relationships. And if we have those 3 things, we will feel very stable. And the things that come up in life, the daily stresses, of course, life happens, right? We're able to more easily cope with things. We're more easily able to respond to life instead of reacting to life. We will get ourselves to a space where we really can survive, not just survive, but thrive. We go from survival mode to being able to thrive. And I'm so grateful now to be in a place in my life where I get to say that really I'm not in survival anymore. I get to be in a space where I get to give back because I'm okay. My health is good. I'm okay financially. I'm good financially, and I have a solid community. And I get to grow this community. I get to share this with people because I was taking the time to make sure I was okay. I took the time to make sure my health was good. I took the time to make sure that I was taking actions every single day to get myself to a better place financially, to make better decisions when I was choosing relationships, when I was choosing friends, when I was choosing my community. That is the reason why I get to enjoy the life that I enjoy. That is why I'm lucky enough to have a partner and I get to travel and I get to do all these amazing things. Ultimately, all of these things come down to the decisions that we make every single day and showing up for yourself and doing the things that need to be done that are actually going to make the difference, that are actually going to move the needle in those areas of life. And I'm here to be that. I want to be able to share those things. I want to help people in those areas because I know how much we can improve based on where I've come from and how much I want to see other people thrive. Because life is so much better when you're not moving from survival anymore. You're way more creative, you're way more happy. Life becomes more bright, and you genuinely do want to give back and help people if you're a good person. Of course, if you're somebody maybe who isn't such a great person, money and all these things, well, of course, it will enhance you. It will enhance who you are. Maybe if you're not such a great person, maybe it won't be helping people. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining the live today. That is pretty much everything that I had to share. I just wanted to, of course, go over the product with you guys. I was so excited to share more about this with you. And if you do have questions, because I am streaming to multiple platforms at this time, I'm not really able to see a lot of the comments. Let me see if I can go in here really fast. Sometimes it will let me see if I go into the platform. Let me just check Facebook really fast. But if not, if I miss any of your comments or questions, leave them below and I will get back to them or get back to you and answer any questions that you have. Of course, you can also comment on any of my other posts as well, and I will answer any questions, or you can just send me a DM. Okay? But thank you guys so much for joining. If you're interested in buying the product, the link and everything is in my bio. If you guys want to try this out, highly recommend. Even if you just try it for a month, because I know you're going to fall in love with it. I know that you're going to see incredible benefits. Every single person who's tried it, at this point, we've had literally no complaints. We've had no one say like, oh, I didn't feel a difference. Everyone's felt a difference. Everyone's had improvements. And so I'm very confident in that. I really do know that this will benefit your life. And so it's easy for me to share, right? It's easy for me to talk about it. And I will be posting a lot more often, of course. You guys already see me doing a lot more of that. But I will be sharing more content, more trainings and all the stuff. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot to mention the giveaway that I had posted on my Instagram as well as Facebook. We have 2 winners, and remember, the giveaway ends on September 1st. If you do want to try the product, and let's say for some reason, maybe you don't have the finances at the moment, or maybe you don't want to pay for your first bag, you can win a bag of product. And on top of that, you get one of these super cute bottles. One of these Vibe bottles comes with that, as well as a t-shirt, a Vibe t-shirt, and you win $50 cash. So if that is something that you're interested in, go ahead and go check out that post. It is on my feed. It will go through exactly how to enter to win the giveaway. as well as if you want to go check out the Facebook, maybe you prefer Facebook, you're watching this right now on Facebook, then you can go to my Facebook. I have it posted there as well. It will give you all of the directions on how to win the giveaway. Like I said, $50 cash and not and a bottle and a bag of product, okay? So all of this amazing stuff, guys. And I'm really excited because I know that you're going to love it. So thank you guys so much for joining. I will see you all soon. I will be doing a lot more lives and a lot more trainings to come. If you want to join the Facebook group, let me know in the description and I will send you guys a link to join. Okay? Thanks so much. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.